Going on with y'all, fam? How y'all doing today? We too blessed to be stressed. You gotta understand that, fam. I hope y'all having a good and marvelous day. Today is gonna be a fantastic day. But yeah, fam, I just want to talk about like why your friends or why people don't want you to be successful. Why they don't want you to be the best version of yourself. Why they don't want you to become the man and woman that you always said you was gonna be. The reason they saying that or they telling you that because they talking out of their own insecurities. They talking out of their own fears and their doubts. They talking out of spirits that don't need to be in them. You gotta understand that, fam. You are more than a conqueror. You can do anything you put your mind to. You can be anything you want to be. You gotta understand that, fam. You are ordained. You was put on this earth to be an icon. You was put on this earth to be something major, to be something big. You gotta understand that, fam. So don't never let somebody tell you what you can't be and what you can't do, because you know what you can do. You know yourself. You wouldn't lie to yourself. Yourself not gonna lie to you. You gotta understand that, fam. So look, fam, like, you gotta understand, fam, like, they don't want you to be successful because you gotta understand that if your friends or people don't want you to be successful, look at their life. Look at what they got going on. Look at what they doing. And if they not doing nothing, if they not successful, then they don't want you to be successful because they not successful. You gotta understand that, fam. You gotta understand, like, people want you to do good in life. They want you to be successful until you actually become successful, until you actually put that work in to become successful. You gotta understand, like, you gotta understand they want you to have stuff, but they don't want you to be better than them. You gotta understand that. Nobody wants you to be better than them. They don't want to see you doing better than them. They don't want to see you surpassing them. You gotta understand that, fam. Like, look, fam, like, sometimes when you become successful, like, your friends or your family, they think you probably gonna change. They think you gonna switch up on them and not talk to them no more. Sometimes people want you to do that. Sometimes they want to keep that contact in with you, because when you become successful, it's lonely at the top, fam. You gotta understand that you ain't got nobody with you, it's just yourself. It's lonely at the top. You gotta come out with new ideas, new things that you want to do, new environments. Like, you gotta understand, like, fam, like, how I'm gonna go about this, like sometimes, like, you gotta understand, when we was on this earth, like, everybody not meant to become successful. Everybody not meant to be that. Like, you gotta understand that. So people love when you at the lowest version of yourself. People love when you out here struggling or when you out here not doing good. Like, you gotta understand that they get a kick out of that. You gotta understand that, fam. So they want you to be stuck. They want you to be stuck with them. They want you to be average, but you gotta understand that. Like, you gotta understand, God has sent a stranger, an angel, a stranger unaware that you don't even know, that'll help you become successful, to help you get where you need to be. It won't even be your own family or friends. So you gotta understand that. You gotta understand, like, people can see you can become successful. They see you're gonna be something big before you even see it, before you even know about it. You gotta understand, fam, like. So they're gonna try to keep you stuck as long as they can so you won't become successful. You gotta understand that, fam. So, like, whatever you do, fam, don't let nobody knock you down. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, you're not good at that, or like, oh, you're not gonna become successful at doing that, fam, because you can do that. They don't want you to become successful because they don't want you to get the spotlight. They don't want you to get the light. They don't want to see people praising you or just glorifying you. But you're not, well, like, not saying you like an idol, but like, they don't want to see people like, oh, I know him because he do this and that. They don't want to hear your name just coming up in conversation just because you big or just because you doing something. Because you got to understand that, fam. Like, some people, they hate to see you on the spotlight. They hate to see you up there and winning. Like, it's cool until you actually become successful. It's cool. They say that until you become successful. Like, I cut my videos, like, sometimes my videos be cut, but sometimes they don't. Like, I just gotta talk straightforward, because sometimes it's okay to take breaks and just think before you speak, think before you act. Like, sometimes you don't want to just say stuff, but like, the reason they don't want you to become successful is because they may think you're gonna have this ego or this proud or arrogant thing, but you're not becoming successful to just flex and just do things out of arrogance or do things out of pride and ego to do that. Like, you gotta understand that, like, some people may see your glory, but they don't know your story. Sometimes you ordained to be successful. You ordained to be blessed with abundance. You gotta understand that, fam. Like, you go through so much, and ain't no choice but for you to be successful. You gotta understand that. Sometimes people see you struggle your whole life. And that's what, and like I said, they like that. They get a kick out of you being average. They get a kick out of you being down. Sometimes they see you struggle with you struggling your whole life. So when you do become successful, they don't know how to act. They don't know how to, like, they ain't gonna know who you is. They gonna switch up. You gotta understand that when you successful, fam, like, they gonna switch up. People will change for the dollar bill. Like, you gotta understand that. They gonna hate. They gonna try to throw shade. They gonna try to lie on your name, say all this and that, call you gay, different things. They gonna try to do different things to break you down, fam. But when you successful, you gotta stay on that high frequency, because if you try to bump down to their level, bump down to the enemy level, it's gonna bring you down with them. It's gonna bring you down to where you used to be. You gotta understand that, fam. Like, in this generation, people glorify fake, and they don't glorify the real. It ain't too many reals out there. You gotta understand that. Like, they don't want you to become successful because you might be one of them real ones. You might be one of them ones that actually went through it in order for you to get through it. You might actually be the ones that been quiet when you was younger. You probably been one of the ones that saying, oh, I was gonna do this, I was gonna be successful, I was gonna be good at that, I was gonna do that, I was gonna actually do it. They ain't seen you do it yet, but when you do it, they gonna try to be like, oh, I was there for you. Oh, I knew you could do it. But whole time they was hating on you. Whole time they was jealous, throwing shade on your success, hoping that you don't wake up, hoping that you don't do that. Hope you don't figure out you was good at that. They gonna do all that, fam. You gotta understand that, fam. Understand, fam, because when you do become successful, like, success brings enemy. Like I said, they gonna hate on you. They gonna all do this and that. They gonna throw shade. They gonna throw fiery darts. They gonna throw negative words. Like, it brings enemies. It brings the rudeness out of people. It brings jealousy, envy. They gonna covet what you want. They gonna think they should have what you have. They gonna feel entitled, fam. You gotta understand that, fam. They ain't gonna... They don't want you to become successful because they feel like you're gonna flee on them. They feel like you're gonna be selfish or instead of selflessness. Like, you gotta understand, fam. It's different things. It's different aspects. Like success, and when you doing good, when you having a lot of money, it brings envy, jealousy, and stuff. It brings all that. It brings the anger out of people. It brings the realness out of people. It shows people who true colors, a side that you never saw that you think they would have. Like, they really start hating on you, fam, because they feel like they should have what you have. They feel like, why do he have that and not me? It's like they say, like, you can pick anybody to be successful, but when you become successful, they be like, why is he? Why is he the one? Why is he the one to do that? Why is he the one to become successful? Why is he the one to getting all the praise? Why is he the one getting all the attention? They don't want you to have all the attention. They want all the attention to be on them. They all for themselves. You gotta understand that, fam. So in the process, like, if it was lonely at the bottom, it's gonna be lonely at the top. When you at the top, it's gonna be lonely. Cause like when you at the top, you gonna see everything. You gonna see everything for what it is. You gonna see life, people, places, things. You gonna see everything, fam. You gotta understand that, fam. It really is lonely at the top, cause people gonna love you for your hand and not your heart. They gonna love you for the things you got and not yourself. Just imagine, like, when you was average, when you didn't have everything. Just imagine, like, God put you in people's lives. God put people in people's lives. He'll just give you them instead of them having stuff. He'll just give you them, their heart, just who they is as a person. He'll just give you them, and people will treat people wrong, like, because they ain't got that, because they ain't got the drip, the designer, they ain't got the house, the cars, the clothes, they ain't got all that. Like, you gotta understand that people will mistreat them. Like I said, they gonna love your heart and not your. They gonna love your hand and not your heart. They gonna love for the things you got, the things you can do for them, the things you can provide, instead of just you being yourself. Like I said, fam. Like, when you successful, you can have anything you want. You can do anything you want. Because you're successful, fam. You gotta understand that. But as soon as you ain't got it, they gonna switch. They gonna switch and go to the next person who's successful, who got all their money, and you're gonna jump on their team, fam. But yeah, fam. That's just all I wanted to say. Like, fam, why they don't want you to become successful is because it's you. It's because they feel like they should have it. They feel like they want you to be successful, but not better than them. They want you to doing good, but not better than them. If it has anything involved with doing better than them, they don't want you to be a part of it, fam. But just take that in mind, fam. One love.